Hey, what's going on, YouTube? This is Jim, and I have a plethora of things I want to talk to you guys about. But today, I'm going to focus on one thing in particular, that is the PlayStation version 3.5 live update, which came out this morning about 7 a.m. Eastern. I was able to download it before I went to work. When I got home, after doing all my chores and laundry and all that kind of stuff, I got to spend some time playing with it. And I thought I'd run through all the features with you guys because it is a pretty big update and there are some interesting things that came out of it, but there's also some duds. So let's dive right into it. First and foremost, you can now create events. Events basically allow you to select the date, time, number of players, and other details of setting up basically a virtual play date with your bros. I don't really care so much about this feature because most of my gameplay is organic. We just join games. It just kind of happens. If your buddy's online and you invite them and they're in the mood to play the game you're playing, they will jump in and play with you or you will go to their game. I think a lot of this stems from the fact that I primarily play multiplayer games on PC with my buddies. We all use TeamSpeak, where there's dedicated chat rooms to each individual game we want to play. So you go into the chat room and you see what everybody else is playing. And if you log on and there's 6 people playing StarCraft, there's a really good chance you're going to jump on and play StarCraft too. Very rarely, though, do I find that I'm setting up any kind of thing like, hey, Tuesday at 2 p.m., man, we're hitting all drawn with everything we got in Star Wars. I really don't see that happening very much, but, you know, the feature's there if you want it. I guess that's interesting. I don't know how much it's going to get used, though, really, in like a day-to-day practical purpose. I don't really see a lot of people going nuts or ranting for this, but hey, there it is. Another feature that they've added is Play Together has been added to the party. So now that any game that supports the Play Together feature, you can automatically invite other players and start game sessions immediately. This is just more of a streamlined thing. Most of the time, you basically create a party first. You invite your buddy to your party, and then you figure out what game you're going to play. Or if you know you're already in a game, you'll invite them to your party and just start yapping and playing your game. This is just one way to get into the action a little bit faster. It's a nice feature. A lot of this stuff I'm surprised wasn't integrated earlier on because a lot of this is kind of what I'd consider core functionality. You know, as soon as you had the ability to basically go off in a party and do things in a party, you would think that all of the rights and privileges of creating events and creating, you know, automatic invitations and that sort of thing, you know, setting rules, who can join and all that kind of stuff. You thought that would already been done at the beginning. So I'm not really sure why the party system has been drip fed to us on PlayStation 4, but hey, it's another piece of functionality if you're interested in utilizing it. Notification messages are now displayed when friends go online. So if you want, you could turn that on when so-and-so comes on or comes off. I really thought it already did this. I could swear I remember seeing when friends came on and off, so unless I'm misreading this, no, notification messages are now displayed when friends go online. Okay, good. My friends who want to hang out with me, they just know that I'm on, and I always create a party by myself, and they just jump in when they want. So I'm not really sure that I care that somebody comes online. It's like if I see them, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and wait for them. I don't know. Whatever. That's an interesting feature. You can now broadcast gameplay on Dailymotion. So I don't know how big of a site Dailymotion is. I know obviously Twitch is kind of the, where everything's at. I prefer to use YouTube because after my gameplay sessions recorded, automatically enters my channel as an archive, which is kind of nice. You can now go offline if you want to. You can actually appear offline, and you can change your status. Be aware that when within a game, you still appear online to other. You may appear online to other players. Your use of social features such as share may be visible to other players. And when you sign in on a PS3, Vita, or PSTV, you will still appear online. Other new or revised features. You can now send events or party invitations. You can now share other players' activities. When uploading screenshots, you can tag other people who have been playing with you. That's actually a lot of fun. I'm not sure if my friends want to be tagged on some of the crap that I post online, though, but hey, it's there now. Depending on the content, verified accounts are now displayed on the content info screen so that you can follow accounts more easily. You can quickly check the status of the PlayStation Network via the Settings network. So it has a built-in network checker to let you know if the network is up or not. Although I suspect as soon as you turn on your console and it says, do you want to go online? And you're like, I think I am online. You probably know something's a little bit boned. They added a PlayStation Plus hub, which is in there before, but they tweaked it a little bit. It now includes a little bit of like a game trailer kind of thing before you actually download the game, which is interesting. I'm purposely dancing around the last one, by the way. I'll get to that in a second. Share Factory's gotten some new features too. I don't know how many people still use Share Factory. You can now record party chat inside your share videos. Be careful what you say and who's recording. Word to the wise. Share settings and share broadcast can now be found in this new menu. You could double tap share to start a recording and double tap again to auto save. I thought this feature had already existed if you went into the settings of your controller. I'm pretty sure when I double tap it records, but apparently this functionality is now here. Videos and game live tiles autoplay when the video is directly highlighted. Who cares? Hashtag Share Factory is now included in the game description. When uploading, you can tag your friends. And there's also a bunch of new themes you can download for 50, 75 cents, the bumpers. So Share Factory is getting a little overhaul. That's nice. It is a pretty powerful tool for being free 99. Now, the biggest feature I saved for last, and that's what I want to spend the remainder of my video talking about, is you can now play remotely. And they call this the PS4 Remote Play application. So basically, if you have your PlayStation 4 connected to the internet and you opt into this system, you can download this PS4 Remote Play application on either your Windows or Mac computer and play from anywhere in the world. Now, this differs greatly from what Xbox does, where you kind of have to be on the same network or in the same VLAN. You can't dial into your Xbox from across the country. This you can, though. So if you are on travel and you want to go play a game, as long as it's the right game in your drive or your PlayStation's on, whatever, you can. I tested it at home. Now, obviously, I have a pretty solid connection at the house. I get about 115 down. I get about 7 to 8 up. So in terms of like what the specification needs to be, I'm covered, okay? So I tried it out. Now, obviously, it goes outside my house, out to the World Wide Webs, back to my house, even though the console and the computer are about a foot apart, but that's okay. When you load up the application, you get to select from a couple different resolutions and quality, basically. So you get 60 or 30 frames per second, and then low, medium, high. High is 720p, mediums, I think, 540, and low is 360. You have to select those settings before you connect to your PlayStation 4. If you connect your PlayStation 4, you can't go back and change the settings. You actually have to exit the application and reopen it. I think it's a pretty stupid layout. I hope they fix this, but whatever. You enter in your PlayStation ID and your PlayStation password, hit connect, and as long as you have a DualShock 4 connected to your computer, you are good to go. Now, I haven't investigated too much yet to see if you can trick this using Input Mapper or some other programs. Maybe you can use your Xbox One Elite controller plugged into your PC and connect your PlayStation 4, although you won't have the touch screen, although I'm not sure how that's quite mapped yet. But I think you might be able to get away with it using Input Mapper or some other spoof programs to trick your computer into thinking the peripheral you have installed is, in fact, a DualShock 4 controller when it is not. But I'm sure there's a video on that somebody's already dived into all that. When you get into the game, it looks okay. Colors are a little washed out. Inputs are a little laggy. And gameplay is a little laggy, but that's expected because you are basically connecting to a computer. You're going all the way across the country or just up and back, a foot away from your PS4. And it works okay. Like I said, it's not perfect. It's laggy, but I don't know what you expect. I mean, your processing is happening in one place as where everything is happening somewhere else. It's very similar to what the Vita does in terms of that, remote play. I don't know why, if they don't already, and maybe they announced it. This would work great on a cell phone app if you're going to allow people to basically connect from anywhere. Since all the processing is happening off the device you are on and the PlayStation is still doing all the heavy lifting, I don't know why you can't stream this to pretty much any device. I think a cell phone would make a great fit for a program like this. But be forewarned that, again, the inputs are a little slow. You will find a lot of drag in places that you wouldn't normally expect it. I didn't notice any crashes or timeouts or anything like that. Everything worked flawlessly for me. But again, I have a pretty decent internet connection, so I didn't have any issues like that. But I have read reports online of people saying that, oh, I can't play, or I shot that guy, but didn't react. On a twitchy game like a Call of Duty or a Destiny type Crucible mode, something like that, you're probably not going to want to use this. I think this is probably best used for like arcade games, maybe if you're on travel or if you're bored at work and your company allows you to install programs that aren't kosher or whatever for business. And you could plug in your controller, I guess, and do something like that. But for the most of us, we're probably going to be playing on our consoles, on our TVs. So I don't know how much this is going to get used unless you travel a lot. And if you travel a lot like me, you have a travel PlayStation because, God, you got a game on the road, right? But all in all, a pretty rich feature set for 3.5. Again, there's some stuff that I'm not really particularly thrilled about. There's a few things in there that people are probably a little bit more interested in than I am. But, hey, it's there. And the nice thing is if you want to use it, great. And if not, great. And before I go, I always say this, and this is a perfect time to mention it once again. Competition makes creativity. When Xbox announced that you could stream the Xbox One to the PC, and yes, those worlds are unifying, PlayStation had no, they weren't even looking at that. But now they have it too. So it's nice to see that the consoles are keeping each other honest. This is another perfect example of that. So if you haven't already turned on your PS4 for the day, I highly encourage you to turn it on. It'll auto-prompt you to download the 300 megabyte file, which is patch 3.5, and check out all the exciting new features in Share Factory and set events with your buddies. And go play the remote play and check it out. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I can now officially cross off of my list item number 1. 3.5 update I have talked about. You will hear about more stuff later in the week. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.